Do you ever wonder why certain countries are stockpiling weapons? What could they possibly be planning? Well, it's not what you think. The truth is, all countries are secretly arming themselves for an upcoming mega war. But before we reveal who is buying the most weapons, and for what purpose, let's take a look at this map. These are the most militarized countries in the world, meaning they have the most weapons per capita. North Korea is the most militarized country on Earth with 7.4 million weapons for just 26 million people. So if North Korea invaded South Korea, they would have a 1-to-1 weapon ratio, giving every North Korean soldier one weapon to use against the South. But even though these countries have the most weapons, they aren't the ones that are buying the most weapons. The country that is currently buying the most weapons in the world is the United States. They've been the world's largest weapons importer for decades, spending over $100 billion on weapons every year. That's more than the next 5 countries combined. And you can see just how much money they're spending on this chart. The U.S. military spends so much money on weapons because they have the most powerful enemies. Look at this map. The red dots are rogue states and terrorist organizations that the U.S. considers threats. And there are a lot of them. And as you can see, the U.S. has taken quite a few weapons for itself, leaving less for its allies. In fact, Europe has gotten so fed up with America taking all the weapons that Davy started to make their own. The European Union is currently the second largest weapons buyer in the world, so now you know who the biggest buyers are. But what are they buying? Well, you might be surprised to learn that most of the weapons being bought are not for offense, but for defense. The United States, for example, is buying more missile defense systems like the Patriot and the Iron Dome to intercept incoming missiles. China is also buying more anti-ship missiles to defend against aircraft carriers and warships. Russia is buying more air defense systems to defend against Western fighter jets and bombers. And Europe is buying more drones to defend against both Russian and American weapons. In other words, every country is buying weapons to defend themselves against the other. And this trend will continue until someone makes a mistake and the unthinkable happens. Now, you know what could happen if the unthinkable does happen. Check out this video.